The 2017 season ended with green and gold confetti falling on the Bison as they stood atop the stage in Frisco and atop the FCS. Now the Bison look to make a return trip to the Lone Star State with a loaded roster, 25 seniors. Quarterback Easton Stick hopes to add to his legacy as one of the great signal callers in NDSU history. Stick has plenty of weapons, a talented and experienced group of running backs, and his top target through the air. Code Green gets boost with the return of All-American Greg Menard and the top tackler entering his sophomore season. The Bison hope to dominate the standard in 2018, a standard that has seen the season end 6 of the last 7 years with that green and gold confetti flying in the sky in Frisco.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football Pregame Show.
Hello and welcome into the Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football Pregame Show. Alex Egan, Beth Hool here for another exciting year. We are ready to kick off the 2018 season.
I am so ready. Everybody keeps saying, oh gosh, can you believe it's already football season? Yes, I can. I am so excited for this season. I'm thrilled with everybody they have back. I think this is going to be one of the best teams we've seen from Bison football in a long time, and I know that's a tall order.
Yes, there's been a lot of comparisons of the defense to a 2013 year where obviously the Bison were very, very good on defense. There's been a lot to talk about. It's always a fun thing when you're talking about the defending FCS national champions, and one of the biggest storylines in the offseason is who's going to be the backup quarterback. I find that very funny. I came from an FCS program, and we would just like a quarterback. So there's a lot of people out there.
So many programs. I mean, a Nebraska kid, we're talking about who's going to be the quarterback. There was a battle to the very end. And so to have this dilemma is really a blessing for the Bison, because you've got Easton Stick, who's the best there is.
The term, I believe, is an embarrassment of riches. That's what the Bison have in terms of personnel. We'll be with you for the next hour. We've got a lot of fun planned for you, including a banner raising that I know a lot of people are interested in seeing. So you won't miss that. We will be with you. And all of that is going to take place out at the Dome. And that's where we're going to go right now to Ryan Gellner, who will be roaming the sidelines for us this season. Ryan, happy Football Saturday to you.
Hey guys, it is an electric atmosphere in the Fargo Dome. It is North Dakota State coming off that championship year, and then Cal Poly, who's an interesting story themselves, and we'll talk a lot about it during the show, but a team that was just 1-10 last year, a year removed from making a playoff run. They had 8 starters miss at least 1 game last year. 2 of those are big ones, and we'll focus on those during today's show. Joe Protheroe missed all but 2 games last year. He's a very interesting story, but he's really what makes the Mustangs go. 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns 2 years ago. He missed all but 2 games last year. He's back. He'll get the football. Watch out for number 5 for Cal Poly. And then on North Dakota State's side, they returned 13 starters. You know that. 6 on offense, 7 on defense. The Bison had injuries, guys that are coming back as well. Greg Menard is back. We'll see if he starts or comes off the bench today. He, of course, had an ACL last year. Dylan Raduns, he will anchor that offensive line from left tackle. He's starting today. And then Lance Dunn, who missed a lot of last year. We saw him in the championship game. He's back as well. So lots to look forward to for both teams. This this atmosphere, the banner raising, lots going on in the Fargo Dome, and lots to be excited about both during the football game and before the football game, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. We'll be checking in with you and Brian, Sean, and Lee Timmerman and the rest of our KVOY, KFYR Bison Football Network team out there at the Fargo Dome. Let's get into topic number 1 of this season, and that is Easton
Stick. Easton Stick.
Well, I want to get a train conductor hat, and every time we start talking about Easton Stick and the hype train that is, he's getting some love for potentially Sundays. We got to get through this season first, but Easton Stick has been a guy that has been a stalwart for this Bison offense.
Yeah, he's outstanding. I mean, think about how far he's come and think about the success that he's had. To be thrown in as a freshman, I talked to Holden Hotchkiss this week, and he talked about how honestly nervous he is about the fact that he could very well actually be on the football field this week. And you think about what Easton was able to do as a redshirt freshman for this program, and he's only continued to get better and better. He's as good as we think he is, and that's echoed by the fact that, I don't know, the Manning family invited him out this summer to work with them. I mean, he's getting that attention because he is so important to this team.
He had 28 touchdowns last year through the air, which is second most in school history. That is phenomenal, especially for a team that is run heavy. They are a run heavy offense, so the quarterback isn't asked to do as much. But I think the stat that stands out the most, 34-3 as a starter, and that you want a winner as your quarterback, and that you can't really teach how to win. He learned some of that from Carson before, but for him to be a winner speaks volumes about this program.
Yeah, you talk to his teammates, some of those guys that have left the program, the guys that were older than him, and they talked about what an important leader he was for this program, how he studied, how he prepared. They thought they had seen the hardest worker in Carson Wentz, and then here came Easton Stick. And really, people say that Easton prepares, if not as hard, probably more so than Carson did, because he learned from Carson and then is working so hard to be at that level and to surpass Carson, to do what he's been able to do. And they really say his preparation is unlike anything you've ever seen.
So the Bison quarterbacks, you go from Brock Jensen to Carson Wentz to now Easton Stick. We're going to find out who the next guy is. We'll find that out, obviously after this year once Easton is graduated. But Easton's very, very valuable to this team. And, you've heard us talk about it. Let's hear from some of the guys that are in that quarterback room about the importance of Easton Stick.
Oh, he's insanely valuable. He's a great leader. He wakes up and he's the first one at the dining center and he's the last one to leave the dome. He's so helpful to all the young guys coming in and all the older guys that just need that extra push. He's always there for them.
It's just incredible to me, especially, right when I got here, just how much there is and, how fast he picked it up and how fast he can process it all, going through captain's practice in the summer, things like that. Just picking his brain, just seeing, how much he learns and how he learns.
Trey Lance really got a front row seat to how Easton Stick prepares this summer. They spent 2 to 3 days a week this summer working together, hanging out, spending time together, so Trey Lance could learn a little bit from Easton, learn that playbook, and learn his process. And he says both of those young men, along with Noah Sanders, say that Easton Stick and the film study in particular, what he does, how he evaluates the film. And Easton says it's a lot different from watching football to watching film. Those are very different things. Anyone who plays football would tell you that. And the way Easton watches film is at a whole nother level.
What I thought was interesting there, Holden talking about how he's the first one in the facility, the last one out. When you watch him at practice, when they go in between drills, Easton is always running to the next drill. He is the first guy in line to be at the next drill, whatever that drill is. So Easton is always running. He's the first one, and that's what you want in a leader, not just a vocal leader, but he also leads by example.
Running as he coaches them on what they can continue to do, because that's the biggest thing. Anybody on this football field is going to tell you Easton Stick is an extension of this coaching staff, whether it's a quarterback, a running back, wide receiver, or a defensive lineman. They're going to tell you how vital Easton is to this group. Back
to my point earlier about Brock Jensen and Carson Wentz, then Easton Stick. What you get is that hand-me-down information, and you're able to see an example of what a good leader and good quarterback is. Carson was able to learn from Brock, and Easton was able to learn from Carson, and now you're going to see these two redshirt freshmen, Holden Hotchkiss, Noah Sanders, and a true freshman, Trey Lance, learning from Easton Stick, and that can only benefit you down the road.
And knowing Carson and Brock personally, and now getting to know Easton personally, they're just as good off the field, which I think shouldn't be forgotten. I think that's a huge part about the success that this football team has had and what makes them so much fun to cheer for. They're good people.
They are good people, and that does make it easy to cheer for them. We've got a lot to come still here on the show. Mustangs making a return trip to the Fargo Dome. That's all to come here on the Farmers Union Insurance and Bison Football Pregame Show.
Simply put, folks around here are different. Hard at work before sunup, won't quit till after sunset. That's how we were brought up. It's in our blood. At Farmers Union Insurance, we believe this way of life is worth protecting because this isn't just where we work. It's also our home. Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different. For a competitive quote on insurance that fits your needs, go online to contact a local agent near you.
You won't want to miss Home's Labor Day sale. Everything is on sale. Buy this sofa and love seat for $9.99 and get the accent chair for free. Plus, get free shipping and zero interest financing until 2022. The Labor Day sale at Home Furniture.
Heart disease, cancer, asthma. 300,000 North Dakotans have pre-existing conditions. Kevin Kramer sold them out to the special interests. Kevin Kramer voted to allow insurance companies to discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions. And he sold out North Dakotans over 50 by voting to let insurance companies charge them 5 times more than younger people. AARP called it an age tax. Don't let Kevin Kramer sell you out. Majority Forward's responsible for the content of this ad.
It's the Labor Day sale at Home Sleep Express. All mattresses are on sale. Twin mattresses from $58. Queen mattresses in a box are just $289. Plus, when you purchase any Serta Perfect Sleeper, get a free microfiber sheet set. The Labor Day sale going on now at Home Sleep Express.
I hated our bathtub, but who has time for a remodel? Not this family. And then there's the mess. Then I heard about Bath Fitter. They came in and put a beautiful new bathtub right over our old one. Bath Fitter also has seamless walls that provide a watertight fit. There's no mess, no demolition, and they get it done in as little as 1 day. Plus, they provide a lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, I have a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
This is Denise. She lives in Killdeer. Like 300,000 North Dakotans, Denise has a pre-existing condition that used to mean no health insurance. For me, it's breast cancer. For Denise, it's heart disease. She has something she'd like to say to Kevin Kramer.
Mr. Kramer, I don't know why you voted to let insurance companies go back to denying coverage for pre-existing conditions, but I know Heidi would never do that.
I'm Heidi Heitkamp, and I approve this message for Denise.
We take you back to 2007. Steve Walker to Cole Heckendorf. The last time the Bison and the Mustangs met up, it was November 10th of 2007. 22 straight points for the Bison to win that game. That touchdown came with 38 seconds to go. I was so ready to nail that, and then I didn't.
No, that's fantastic. You know, that's a big play because every time you mention Cal Poly, people start telling you where they were when that one happened. We're going to be in for a big game today against the Bison and the Mustangs. Mustangs coming into the Fargo Dome, getting ready for their first experience ever inside the Fargo Dome. Almost made it here a couple years ago in the playoffs, but lost to San Diego in what was definitely considered an upset in that one.
Upset.
Yeah, remember that?
Yes,
yeah,
that was
of
an
rain.
upset.
Puddles in the corners.
And the Bison coaching staff, I mean, they were prepared to play either team, Cal Poly or San Diego, but I think a lot of us were surprised when San Diego came away with that win and then ended up coming to Fargo for the second round of the FCS playoffs. The Cal Poly Mustangs, they had a really tough year last year, 1-10 last year, and most of that was because of injuries. They've got 2 guys on their offense that were missed most of the year. Joe Protheroe, as you heard Ryan Gellner talk about in the first segment, he only played 2 games last year, and as their offense goes, or as Joe Protheroe goes, their offense goes.
Absolutely, and they're a Big Sky team, so keep that in mind. We all know FCS guys here, we all know what that means. Defense, questionable.
Defense optional. It's optional in the Big Sky.
Along with their option offense. There you go. Yeah, so that kind of makes a big difference. But this is a program that used to pride itself on defense. Back in the day, back in old school D2 days, Cal Poly was all about the defense. Had a new coach. Their coach left, went to Army, and then all of a sudden they lost defense, and they went to this option offense. They led the FCS though for years in rushing yards, and then last year really fell off. And like you said, that's a big part because of Protheroe. Yeah, let's get back out to the Fargo Dome. Ryan Gellner standing by with the voice of the Mustangs. We'll learn a little bit more about Cal Poly.
All right, thank you guys. Yeah, back down on field level, Chris Sylvester, who's been calling play-by-play for Cal Poly for 3 years, joins us now. And you've seen maybe some of the best of times, the worst of times, the playoff year, and then you go 1-10 last year. This year's squad, more like that 1-10 version, you think, or more like the playoff team from 2 years ago?
Much like last year, it's all about health with Khalil Jenkins and Joe Protheroe missing a good chunk of 2017. I think 2018, if those 2 guys can stay healthy, you're looking at a team much more reminiscent to the one that made the playoffs a couple of years ago. Jenkins is a senior. It's his final shot to do what he wants to do on the football field. Joe Protheroe is a very interesting character on and off the field. You know, he's a guy that's a phenomenal football player, phenomenal locker room, clubhouse guy, if you will. But he's also a husband, and he's a father of 3, so he's playing for a lot more than just the name on the front and back of his jersey. He's doing it for more than just himself, and it's going to be interesting to see how it manifests here in 2018. What a better way to start off the season than in here in the Fargo Dome.
Protheroe is really a guy that stirs the drink. He's the guy that gets things going. If he's going, things are good. He's a little bit flashy, a little bit powerful. He's got some speed. How do you describe him?
Joe Protheroe, he's a one-of-a-kind fullback. He's an All-American here at the FCS level. He's gotten that praise a couple of times in his collegiate career. If you can let him get to the second level, he's a dynamic back. We saw it a couple years ago, last time Joe Protheroe played a game in Missouri Valley country, and that was against the top 10 South Dakota State team where he ran like crazy, including a 70-plus yarder to put the game in the bag for Cal Poly. So he's a special bag. He's a special back. When he gets to that second level, he can get in his bag, and he can rack up some points for the Mustangs here in 2018.
As you look at your notes, you've talked to the coaches. What do you think the biggest concerns are playing the Bison, playing in this building?
I think defensively, Cal Poly's very young within the front seven. You're going to see a lot of redshirt freshmen and true freshmen start on the defensive line, and obviously going up against a couple of senior running backs, Lance Dunn, Bruce Anderson, that's going to be an extremely tough test. But Tim Walsh really feels like this is a game that's going to make his team better come Big Sky play, and it doesn't get any easier for the boys next week. They're back at home taking on a top 10 team in Weber State. So, you know, obviously they're going to learn a lot today. That's the hope, and they're going to hope to take away more positives than negatives.
Enjoy the game today. Enjoy the season.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. Let's take a look at that guy that we were just talking about, Joe Protheroe. These are his 2016 numbers. Again, he only played in 2 games in 2017, but he had 1,300 rushing yards in 16. He was no slouch, averaging over 5 yards a carry, over 120 yards a game, finds the end zone. He is a tough cat to bring down.
He's a workhorse.
Yes.
He absolutely is. He deserves the praise. He's a hardworking guy. You heard all of the accolades there and the, you know, attributions to his personal life and everything like that. Yeah. He's a hard worker. He's driven. He's an old dude, too.
Yeah,
he's an old college football player.
He's been there for a while.
Which means he's a man.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you think about it, in all honesty, one of the most interesting things about college football to me is when you have these young guys playing, you've got 18, 19-year-olds.
We've got more to come here on the Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football pregame show. Stay with us.
It's the unofficial start of fall, and Fleet Farm has everything you need for the changing season. This week only, save on things like Valspar Medallion Paint and Primer, starting at $27.99 after rebate. Moultrie A25 Trail Camera, only $64.99. Coca-Cola 12-packs, 3 for $12. And 60-pound bags of our Solar Salt Crystals on sale for just $5.49. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
I served 3 combat tours in the U.S. Marine Corps alongside a lot of guys that were killed by IED attacks. And Iran funded a lot of the IED attacks that killed U.S. Marines and soldiers. Senator Heidi Heitkamp knew this, but she supported Obama's deal with Iran anyway, unlocking $150 billion to global terror. Thank God President Trump ripped that deal up. But Heitkamp sided with Obama. We're less safe because of it.
Tell Senator Heitkamp to get tough on Iran.
Don't lose that new car smell. Keep your interior fresh when you get your vehicle detailed at Dawn's. From the exterior, to the engine, to the leather, and carpet cleaning. No one takes care of the details better than Dawn's. Choose from several different detailing options. When you're ready to put a smile on your car, call Dawn's Car Wash on 13th Avenue. Or go online to dawnscarwashes.com for complete details.
Here they go again. Heidi's liberal friends are attacking Kevin Kramer, this time for his work on the Public Service Commission and regulating utility rates. It's ridiculous. Here's the truth. The judge threw out the Democrats' lawsuit, and Kevin Kramer helped keep our utility rates among the lowest in the nation. As for Heidi and her liberal friends, well, their attacks just more.
I'm Kevin Kramer, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
There's only one team to turn to for weather information. The Valley News Live Storm Team. Experienced and ready. When clouds roll in, you know exactly where to go. Enjoy your outside moments and know that the Storm Team can tag along wherever you go, live or on demand, to the lake, to the park. Check in quick before you leave, then take the Storm Team with you. Rain or shine, the Valley News Live Storm Team, on the go with you.
Welcome back inside the Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football pregame show in our Fargo studios. We'll go out to the Fargo Dome right now. Ryan Gellner standing by with Dr. Bruce Pyatt in our Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Report.
Guys, thank you. Dr. Bruce Pyatt is here, and we do our weekly chat. Dr. Pyatt, first of all, welcome back. It is football season, which is awesome.
Here we go again, right?
Let's talk about ACLs a little bit. A couple of North Dakota State players bouncing back from ACLs. Carson Wentz in the NFL bouncing back from ACLs. Real generically, though, an ACL, we've always heard 12 months, but we're seeing that fast forwarded. We're seeing that take longer for some guys. How long is that recovery?
So it's really changed over the years. This is one of those things where the pendulum has swung so much. When I first started in practice, we were telling kids 12 months. Then it got down to one point probably 15 years ago that we were letting kids return at about 3 months, and we know that that was the wrong thing to do. We saw a much higher incidence of recurrent injuries and other associated injuries with it. And now as we look at the biology, we really think that the healing time is probably in that range of 9 months. And so that's what we're telling kids now, that you're not going to probably go back to sport activity any sooner than 9 months. But we can also have some real nice parameters to follow. We've been able to do a lot of neuromuscular testing with the athletes, let the biology heal, and then at the same time be able to follow and really observe where they stand with their muscle strength, with their coordination, with their ability to kind of be protective of the knee again.
You have your surgery, you work up, you walk first, then you do a little bit of jogging, then you're running. When you get to game action, though, if you're 9 months, 12 months away, what's the recovery there? Because you always see ice go onto the knee. You see guys limping around a little bit. I assume it gets tight, it gets sore, but that's all normal.
Yeah, it's not unusual to have some symptoms still associated with it. Although I think in the past where we were letting kids return 6 months or sooner, we saw a lot more of that than we're seeing now. You know, everybody talks about the people like Adrian Peterson that came back so quickly. Well, he didn't come back quick. It took him 10 months to get back on the field, but there was enough recovery that when he did come back, he was ready to go, and we're seeing that a lot more with our athletes.
There will be some watchful eyes on those ACLs today, and as we get closer to the NFL season as well, there'll be some watchful eyes there as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Sounds great.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Here's who is out today on the injury report. Wide receiver Eric Bachmeier, who just went from safety to wide receiver. He will not be in uniform today, out with a hand injury. And running back Seth Wilson, the sophomore, is out with a leg injury. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks playing today. We mentioned Easton Stick earlier. What else can we say about him?
Wow, where can I stop talking about him? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, he's in for a big season this year. I think he's learned a ton in this offseason, continued to work on some of those things. One of the big things that Coach Kleiman talked about this season was getting Easton to accept what the defense is giving him. And so I think when you're so cerebral, when you're as smart as Easton Stick is, sometimes you can overcomplicate things, and they're really encouraging him to see what they're giving him and to work with that.
Hey, do you know what I'm not going to harp on this year?
Your
completion
pen?
percentage.
Oh.
Completion percentage, I'm done with it. I'm done talking about completion percentage with Easton Stick. I think he's proven that he can throw any football that he needs to and hit his receivers when he needs to.
I'm really proud of you, Alex. This is gross.
65% though. I still want to see that. All right, let's take a look at the Cal Poly starter. He is Khalil Jenkins. He only played 7 games last year, so his numbers aren't a full season's worth. Last year was his first season as the starter. He's a senior now. Obviously.
Percentage. Completion percentage.
Completion persuasion.
Percentage.
Precision.
Percentage.
What are you saying? Completion persuasion.
Percentage.
Say it again.
Percentage. We're done. We're done. We got through one. Take it off. It was percentage.
Oh.
Gosh.
Whoops.
We got through one
close.
at least.
What's new at Dakota Magic Casino?
Everything.
New games, new table games, incredible new menu, new entertainment lounge. Everything's new and exciting. Come and discover the all-new Dakota Magic Casino, just south of Fargo on I-29.
Get end-of-season stay-and-play discounted rates now at Dakota Winds Golf Course.
At BASF, we know one thing is certain. When you're the inventors of dicamba, you don't advance it by just dropping in an additive. You wipe the slate clean and rebuild a better dicamba from the ground up. Presenting Engenia herbicide, the most flexible and advanced dicamba for dicamba-tolerant soybeans and cotton. It's pure genius.
At Sanford Health Healthcare Accessories, we offer a large selection of equipment and supplies to help treat any condition. Yet it's our committed service to you that matters most. Our service before and after a purchase gives you freedom to maintain your best quality of life possible. Our team works with you one-on-one to find the best fit for your lifestyle. Sanford Health Healthcare Accessories, the store to restore your independence. Visit us today at healthcareaccessories.com.
It's the Bison Football Show with Coach Kleiman, hosted by Jeremy Jorgensen. Get the action-packed highlights from up and down the field, how the players are feeling, and what's the plan for the next game. Huddle up, Bison Nation, for the latest headlines and a recap of the biggest plays. Follow your favorite team all season long. Watch the Bison Football Show Sundays at 10:30 a.m. on KX4 starting September 2nd. Then replayed Sunday nights on KVLY following the late local news.
The Farmers Union Insurance Bison pregame show rolls on back inside the Fargo Dome. Lee Timmerman is here. Brian Sean is here. I am Ryan Geller. These guys will call today's game. And Brian, let's start with you. It is a Cal Poly team that has just one win a year ago. They had some injuries. I think they're a little better than what one win showed last year.
Well, 2 years ago, let's not forget, we thought this team was coming to Fargo. We thought that this team was coming here after they were going to beat San Diego, right? The non-scholarship team in the playoffs. Well, then all of a sudden they got upset at home in a rainy mess by San Diego, and that's really where the slide started. Then all of a sudden things got even worse. They opened the 2017 season at home against Colgate, another team they thought they were going to roll. Then they got beat again, and from there things just spiraled out of control and ended up being one of the worst seasons in program history. They're worse since 1964.
North Dakota State, on the other hand, Lee, we all know how that finished for the Bison. They got a little redemption in the national championship game. But the Bison have gotten stronger in the offseason as well. They've got some guys coming back off injury who you'll see today who could make a difference in the entire season.
You mean will make a difference.
Yeah,
when you get Greg Medard back, he will make a difference. When you get your starting tackle back, Dylan Radens, he will make a difference. Guys like that you're talking about, without a doubt, those guys will make a difference. And it's you know, to get a veteran that good in those positions back to go along with all the seniors you have returning, that's a pretty good mix for NDSU.
Yeah, it sure is. Today, the Bison will face a triple option, and a very pure triple option, in which there could be three different guys getting the football, but one, Brian, sticks out big time, at least on paper, and I think he does on film as well.
Yeah, Joe Protheroe has been an absolute workhorse, and this is a guy that only played 6 quarters of football a year ago and took a red shirt after getting injured against San Jose State in the second game of the season. What people may not realize is he gray shirted his first year. This is actually his 6th year out of high school. He's 24 years old. He just had his 3rd daughter a couple of weeks ago. He's got 3 kids under the age of 3 at home, so he's a busy guy on the field and off the field.
And that, of course, is our first key to the football game, and that was read the speed. The Bison defense, they have to be able to adjust. It may not be the first drive or the second drive. You have to assume, Lee, they will adjust.
They have to adjust because Jenkins, the quarterback, he's pretty good up until he got hurt last year. The offense wasn't horrible, if that's the right word to use. They were making some moves. That kid right there is pretty good. And one of the toughest things that the NDSU defense will have to do is generally the quarterback reads the defensive end on almost every play. Well, I've been told by the NDSU coaching staff that Jenkins sometimes will look at where the tackle is and then adjust off it. He'll look at where the safety is and then adjust off it. Most of the time, it'll be the Bison defensive ends, but not all of the time. So that's another way, the game within a game, where Jenkins is pretty good at putting some pressure on what he sees on the defense.
Our second key to the football game today is rotate, rotate, rotate. Brian, the Mustangs, they'll play up to 6 running backs. The quarterback will also keep it. So there's 7 guys you have to keep your eyes on. The Bison, on the flip side, They'll play up to 6 defensive ends. They'll have a bunch of defensive tackles. Everybody's rotating all over the place. The idea is to keep it fresh.
Yeah, the idea is to make sure these guys don't get too many reps on them, and that's really what the triple option does usually, is it keeps the game close because you're able to maintain ball control and wear defenses out over the course of a game. Not necessarily sure they're going to be able to do it against North Dakota State, mainly because the Bison's defensive ends can play inside at defensive tackle, and that is such a luxury when you have guys that are that versatile in your defensive unit.
Yeah, the speed at which the Bison defensive line can play will be a tough adjustment for the Mustangs today.
Yeah, keep the eyes right, keep them down the field, figure out who has...
Probably not going to play today, but once he gets back, then you got 4 legitimate tailbacks, and that's just a luxury. And that kid right there is explosive. He might not catch a lot of passes, but he's got a second gear that even Lance and Bruce don't have. He can bust it anytime he touches the ball on a handoff.
Ty Brooks certainly is fun to watch. The atmosphere is electric. Of course, it's the first football game of the year. The banner raising is coming. There is a lot to look forward to off the field. We'll bring you that banner raising in just a little bit. But there's a lot still to come on the Farmers Union Insurance Bison pregame show. More from the Fargo Dome, including hearing from the head coach when we come back.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business, making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
Show the support of your team by showing off the team colors at a cutting-edge gallery of jewelry. Beautiful shimmering pieces that sparkle and dance. Amazing brilliance. Green and gold, purple and gold. At a cutting edge, we can create any team color combination. Stop in today and see the largest selection of dazzling diamonds and colored stone jewelry in the upper Midwest. A cutting-edge gallery of jewelry, 4507 33rd Avenue South, right here in Fargo.
It's the unofficial start of fall, and Fleet Farm has everything you need for the changing season. This week only, save on things like Valspar Medallion Paint and Primer, starting at $27.99 after rebate. Moultrie A25 Trail Camera, only $64.99. Coca-Cola 12-packs, 3 for $12. And 60-pound bags of our Solar Salt Crystals on sale for just $5.49. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
4 big days, 4 locations, over 800 used vehicles with prices slashed to sell. It only happens once a year. Corwin Automotive's used Labor Day liquidation. Now through Monday, get the lowest prices of the year on the state's largest selection of used vehicles. All makes and models clearly marked with liquidation prices. No negotiations necessary. The sale ends at 8 p.m. Monday and will not be extended. Corwin Automotive's used Labor Day liquidation. Shop online, corwinauto.com.
Outside the Fargo Dome, we will have, well, we'll see championship rings. We'll see a banner from the ceiling come down as North Dakota State officially crowned the football champions from the FCS subdivision. Welcome back inside the Fargo Dome. My name is Ryan Gellner. Football still to come. Cal Poly takes on North Dakota State, the defending champs, against Cal Poly, who just had a win a year ago. We talked about some of the extracurricular stuff that's going on today. Of course, outside, the atmosphere was electric in Fargo. A beautiful day for football, a beautiful day for tailgating. Inside the Fargo Dome, well, there's a team getting ready for a football game. Before we do that, though, the banner comes down inside the Fargo Dome as the fans will get to rejoice and get excited about the national championship from a year ago. Inside the Fargo Dome, though, head coach Chris Kleiman still has work to do. His football team still has a big football game, and I asked him about that moments ago, getting ready for that first football game of the year. Well, summer is gone, and practices are all done. It's football season. You have to be excited.
Yeah, we really are. We had a short, quick fall camp through the month of August, and lo and behold, it's September 1st, and the guys are chomping at the bit to get out there and play somebody else.
You have been able to evaluate things through the offseason. What's maybe the biggest thing you're looking forward to when you just look at the Bison? What's the biggest thing you're looking forward to?
Well, just these 3 games of non-conference continuing to create the depth. We have a lot of young guys that you're going to see today. Some guys that have been in the program that maybe haven't played as much that have increased roles. And then those stars to be stars. And we have a bunch of those guys. And how much can they raise the level of play and raise the bar here?
I know you've put some focus in the offseason into putting some focus on special teams. How important are special teams for you moving forward this year?
Well, we've had a big emphasis on them throughout fall camp. Coach Gazer has taken over the special teams coordinator role. He and Coach Roll have done a great job. Our guys are putting in the time. We're excited. You know, we need to see some improvement out here from what we had to finish the season. But in the same respect, we know it's going to take some time, and we're going to play a lot of these young guys. They're going to make mistakes, but as long as they're doing them really fast and really hard with a sense of urgency, I'll be happy with them.
Let's look across the field at Cal Poly. They run maybe as traditional of a triple option as there is. For another, and that's scary, especially for defenses.
For a first game of the season, it really is scary because it's hard to emulate that speed in practice. And this is going to be Georgia Southern from 11 and 12 as far as we have to be able to stop the fullback. He's a great player, missed all of last year, and have tremendous amount of respect for he and the quarterback. And that's where it's in
Fargo Dome. This is the Farmers Union Insurance Bison pregame show.
If doing what you enjoy involves familiar joint pain, there's a better way. At Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, our team will work with you to create a care plan that meets you where you are, so you can get back to more walks, more blooms, more active moments, more you. See how you can reach your more with a consultation at Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
K&S Carpet Cleaners and Restoration is your #1 source for residential and commercial carpet cleaning services. Our high-pressure truck-mount steam system and 6-step cleaning process cleans your carpets like no other. K&S is also your #1 source for air duct cleaning services. It's the healthiest home improvement you'll ever make. And K&S is your #1 source for emergency water removal and restoration services. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's cleaning time at K&S.
Thinking of building a new home? Then Riley's 9th is the right choice for you. Riley's 9th edition is all custom homes with huge lots, multiple parks and community areas on the north side of town. Prices are complete, no specials to add, low real estate taxes. Life begins at Riley's 9th. Quiet neighborhood living just minutes away from major shopping areas. Plus, Riley's has school bus service to Fargo North, West Fargo, and Northern Cass Public Schools. Lots are available now. Give us a call or go online for more information.
Makeover, renovation, transformation. At Seven Clans Casino, Thief River Falls. From top to bottom, everything's new. Look what's been redone. Standard rooms that feel not so standard. Large, relaxing fireplace suites with balconies. And an executive suite to take your breath away. Are y'all in? We've gone all out to perfect every corner of our hotel to make room for you. Come see the new. Book your winning adventure today at Seven Clans Casino, Thief River Falls.
I served 3 combat tours in the U.S. Marine Corps alongside a lot of guys that were killed by IED attacks. And Iran funded a lot of the IED attacks that killed U.S. Marines and soldiers. Senator Heidi Heitkamp knew this, but she supported Obama's deal with Iran anyway, unlocking $150 billion to global terror. Thank God President Trump ripped that deal up. But Heitkamp sided with Obama. We're less safe because of it.
Tell Senator Heitkamp to get tough on Iran.
Welcome back inside our Fargo studios as we are getting you set for North Dakota State and Cal Poly. Let's go back out to the Fargo Dome. Mike Morgan with another tailgate report. Mike?
All right, we're back in the tailgate section for more tailgate trivia. Are we all ready to participate? Yeah. Okay, my first contestant here is?
Mary.
Mary, are you ready to go?
I am.
All right, here's your question. NDSU's first national football championship was back in 1965. An 11-0 team that year. Who coached the team? Was it Darryl Mudra or Ron Earhart? You can get help.
Earhart?
I would go with Mudra.
Okay, Mudra.
Mudra is correct. Wow, that was easy enough.
and you
Like multiple choice.
win a $50 gift card to the Lucky's 13 Pub. Congratulations. All right. That's how easy it is. Your name?
Dale.
Dale, she got it right.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
With a little help.
Here we go, with a little help, and you get the same help, right?
Yes, I
All
do.
right. NDSU has a winning record against every team in the Missouri Valley Conference except one team. Is it the University of Northern Iowa or Youngstown State?
Be Youngstown State.
Oh, wait a minute. The crowd says no. Maybe you want to listen to them.
Other one. You and I.
Oh, it was Northern and...
Yeah, University
okay.
of Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa.
Maybe you didn't hear me the first time.
I misunderstood you, obviously.
Okay, so your final answer is the University of Northern Iowa?
Yes, sir.
That is correct. Actually, the UNI Panthers, the Bison, are 25-26 against them. All right. Well, yep. Congratulations. You get a $50 gift card to the True Blue Social Club, of which you're going to have to share it with your friends.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right, we're still on a roll. Nobody's got it wrong yet, but we'll be back next game for more trivia. Go Bison!
That's what you have to love about Bison football. So much teamwork out there.
Camaraderie, just like the Bison on the field. Speaking of on the field, here's our Bobcat heavy lifting report. Aaron Steidel is who we've singled out today, although it should be really the entire defense for this Bison team. I put in there think, because Steidel said he's going to have to think this week. You can't just rear back and go after the quarterback against an option team. You got to be on your toes, and which leads into discipline. You're going to have to play your spot. Everybody on that Bison defense is going to have to play their spot, and don't fall asleep. That's mainly for everybody on that defense as well.
Well, yeah, and a huge part of this for Aaron Steidel, what he talked about is the fact that what makes preparing for this team so difficult is that they have 3 guys returning on their offensive line, but they're all playing in different places this year. They've moved them around. They're expecting them to be in different spots. So it's hard to find those cues. It's hard to find. One of the things that Aaron Steidel has talked to us so many times about when we talk about the option teams they prepare for is those cues, those little details that they look for, what they can prepare for, the turn of a foot, which hand, I mean, all these different things. And they can't really prepare quite as thoroughly as they have in the past against some of these option teams, but still they're doing the best they can with all of those. And if there's anything Bison football can prepare with, it's film, and they'll make the most of it. And they found a nice balance between that 2016 video and that 2017 and balancing scheme versus personnel.
I think the other thing that might be a little, I guess annoying would be the word, is you've had 4 weeks to prepare for this option offense. All you've been hearing about is this option, this option, this option. And when it's just 1 week, it's a lot. It's a crash course. But when it's 4 weeks, oh my goodness.
They haven't spent 4 weeks on this. I mean, absolutely not. They've been preparing.
Right.
They've been putting in their own systems. They've been getting some of these younger guys up to speed, balancing out workload between vets and all of that. They've had so many other things that they've been working on. They've really just ingrained it here in the last week, but they've been able to focus on it, and they've spent more time on it than they typically get to prepare for an option team.
Right, so let's talk about another guy that's making his return to this Bison defense. We talked a little bit about him. We heard the guys talk a little bit about him as well, and that is Greg Menard and what this All-American defensive end brings back to this defense.
He brings back experience. He brings back perspective. He brings back so much.
Like countdown clock to kickoff. We'll step aside one more time, put our final thoughts on the pregame show before football. Next.
Rural life isn't for everyone, but those who know it and love it wouldn't have it any other way. As a farmer-owned cooperative, Ag Country Farm Credit Services supports rural communities and agriculture with reliable, consistent credit and financial services, which helps farmers produce more affordable food and encourages long-term investments in rural communities. Ag Country Farm Credit Services, proud to support the communities where we live and work.
Accent brings you Core-Tech, the best in luxury vinyl flooring. Kid-proof, pet-proof, party-proof, and most importantly, 100% waterproof. It's scratch and dent resistant, made with stable construction, and won't expand and contract when exposed to water. You'll find it here at Accent Kitchen and Bath. Stop by our showroom to see what all the splish splash is about. Ask about our lowest price guarantee.
Accent Kitchen and Bath, the perfect showroom for your home.
What's new at Dakota Magic Casino?
Everything.
New games, new table games, incredible new menu, new entertainment lounge. Everything's new and exciting. Come and discover the all-new Dakota Magic Casino, just south of Fargo on I-29.
Get end-of-season stay-and-play discounted rates now at Dakota Winds Golf Course.
Show the support of your team by showing off the team colors at a cutting-edge gallery of jewelry. Beautiful shimmering pieces that sparkle and dance. Amazing brilliance. Green and gold, purple and gold. At a cutting edge, we can create any team color combination. Stop in today and see the largest selection of dazzling diamonds and colored stone jewelry in the upper Midwest. A cutting-edge gallery of jewelry, 4507 33rd Avenue South, right here in Fargo.
I had got a call. They thought my house might be on fire. My wife was at work and my son was at school. Smoke was just rolling out, and then you'd see the flames coming up. A very helpless feeling watching, knowing there's nothing you can do. You just stand there and watch. Very emotional. Farmers Union Insurance did such an excellent job with us. I can't imagine any insurance company doing a better job. Dreams, memories, everything was put back together the way it should be to get us right back on course.
Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football Pregame Show.
Final segment here, 2 minutes and 44 seconds on our Coors Light countdown clock before we send you